Viewer discretion is advised.
Let's do this. So this is episode 6 of Day After Dead. And I'm FUNKNOWN. I'm here with Jay and Asadasa.
What's up?
Hi.
So to start off, the first thing I want to say is, Jay, I want to bring it back to the first episode when we talked about the weapons, how you chose the AK. And then what did Eugene try to do this episode?
Oh.
Coming back full circle.
Fabricating bullets.
You chose your AK.
Ammunition.
Remember, I was doubting you. I was like, I don't know about the AK. You know, making bullets. Are they gonna really be able to do that?
Boom.
Comes back your moment. This is your moment. Anything you want to say?
No, just watch and learn.
I was watching that and I was cracking up to myself.
Just be patient. Everything comes full circle. The cookie
I'd be
will
more
crumble.
impressed if I know that Jay didn't read the comics.
Wait, what happened?
Said I'd be more impressed if I knew that you didn't read the comics, but I know that you're sitting there doing your behind the back read aheads. I see you.
Not at all. I haven't even.
I see you. You're getting ahead of the clock. You're like, yo, what can I?
I'll tell you, I'll go check his.
pretend?
He probably got the whole stash too.
He's sitting there. He's hiding it. Check under his bed.
Nah, I'm too busy doing the classic retread. I'm doing right now. I'm on War of the Worlds. I read War of the Worlds.
Oh man, that had me dying.
I'll probably read Moby Dick next. You know.
But then when you open up the Moby Dick, you start seeing it's like I didn't remember Moby Dick being a comic.
No, it's Penthouse, not Moby Dick.
Zombies.
It's Penthouse.
That's true.
It's really Hustler on the inside.
True. You got Hustler in the Moby Dick, but then it's
Moby's
not War of
dick.
the Worlds.
It's Moby's dick, not
That's what you're into. I knew you liked his music.
That's too good.
Yeah, so that's what you gotta do, bro. Find a way. Nature finds a way. Let's go, boom.
Jurassic Park, for anyone who doesn't know the reference.
True.
Oh man, yeah. So what you guys think of the episode?
It was okay.
Oh.
It was alright. I thought it was alright. It was only like 4 bullets shot. An arrow.
I know. How can you like episodes that don't have bullet shot, right?
I know, God.
People don't die.
There was
to
no
tell
magazine
episode.
expenditure.
I mean, you know my position, obviously, right? People died,
doggy.
so I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, because this is an episode that I want to hear your opinion because it was like on the line, because it wasn't all full throttle, but
I don't need it to be
good.
full throttle. Like, I'm down for character moments, to be honest. Like, it's what I said last week. I just need them to be interesting. And I think this week was actually interesting. You had the action, which is always cool. But what you had was also a lot of development for characters. Like, I think it actually kind of sucked that they killed Denise of all the people that they could have killed.
Oh, poor girl.
Yeah, right?
Sucks.
And they actually did some good stuff for her this episode in terms of building her character. Like, I think she could have had a very interesting arc. And then she's the one who gets the fucking arrow to the head.
To the fucking back of the head. Oh, my God.
Right. And that's the other thing to talk a little bit about Denise getting killed this episode, where, like I said, they were kind of doing interesting things for her, I think. And they were really trying to build her as like an actual like interesting character. But when you look about the other characters, like, I mean, some of them don't really have much growth left at this point. You know what I mean? And when you think about the fact, like, which Alexandrians are even left that we have names for at this point? Tobin and Heath, that's it.
Spencer.
The other son, Spencer, that's it. 3 dudes. You know what I mean? So you would have had this other character that you have a lot more of like an opportunity to actually build, this Denise character and whatever. But then you look at like Abraham. And, you had Eugene actually come through and he was like, all right, so I'm actually going to build bullets. And he actually is like, I actually now have a new purpose. And they've done something and taken him in a new direction. Similarly with Rosita, what are they really doing with her? She's now fucking Spencer and that's where you're taking her. Like, all right, so what is she doing that's so interesting? What is Morgan doing? I guess he's like the lone dissenter, so that can be interesting. But you have 10 named characters, like half of which have kind of like stagnated. So at some point, people got to go. You know what I mean? And I think that if you're going to start killing some people off, maybe you should kill some of the people that have been there for a couple seasons and aren't really doing anything at this point.
I found it odd that they didn't show Tara at all this episode.
Yeah,
She's on the
Is
she's on the road.
she pregnant? Was she pregnant?
Yeah,
the
but still.
actress?
Yeah, she's pregnant. She was.
Yeah, so that might have been why.
Yeah.
Tara's pregnant?
Yeah, real life.
Oh.
Yeah, the actress. Because I remember they had a lot of those shots that were like blocking her stomach and stuff.
So then that's why they probably sent her off then in the show.
Yeah, she just probably isn't around to shoot or something.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So that's not plot driven. That's just real life driven.
Yeah, that's how I took it.
But yeah, you were saying with Denise?
Yeah, I think that they were doing some interesting things with her this episode. And if I had to choose a character that I wish would have stuck around, I would have said Denise. Like, I would have liked her to stay around because I think there's places you can have taken that character from where she was. And I think there's a lot of development that she could have had. But then you kill her off, and it's like, well, there's probably other characters I think you could have killed off that would have been much better, you know? I think better choices. But I also feel like if we're trying to think like narratively as to why they did that, that kind of goes into it where I'm like, I'm pretty sure a bunch of characters are probably going to die soon because otherwise, like, you kind of lose a bit of that impact if you killed one of those named characters in this episode, whereas in like next week they'll get killed or the week after or whatever as like the emphasis point.
Is Alexandria done?
Nah.
You don't think so?
Nah, why? Why would you think it would be done?
Because if a few characters get offed and they have this conflict with Negan that's about to go down, maybe they, I don't know. It's just a situation where now it's looking like they have their back against the wall. You know, I don't see. I just they don't know anything about Negan. They got this thing going down with Carol. They got men. Well, it's just two people actually out in the wild who. We don't know how long when this episode took place, right? And they're supposed to be gone for 2 weeks. So yeah, we don't really know much along the lines of that. Yeah. But I don't know, it just doesn't seem like Rick's force is strong right now.
I mean, I think that's a good question. I think also we have no idea how big Negan's forces are. I think like between last episode, like even like when they invaded the compound, and then last episode where they had the other group, and then they had the group that came to back them up, and then this one you had like how big was that group on the train tracks? Like 5 of them I think got away, but there was something
like 5 or 6 got away, and there had to be like 10 or so.
Yeah, so like I feel like it might be an issue of like obviously Rick's group is diminishing, whereas like Negan's group just seems to be super big, so that could be an issue in of itself, and I think that would be interesting. See?
Yeah, which leads me to thinking maybe they won't have a foothold they won't have enough reinforcements, you know, to hold down the fort.
Which is why it's like, you know, a really shitty idea to go after Carol, and again a shitty idea for her to leave now of all things, you know. Yeah. How many people are gonna go out to search for Carol?
Oh shit! I just thought of you, Jay. You brought up Dale in the beginning, or whatnot, and that's it. Carol is now Carl from back then.
What do you mean?
To draw the parallel, Carol is the one now leaving, going off on her own, because whatever realization she had within herself, like Carl wanted to go out on his own, and then he got caught. Remember, then Dale ended up dying as a result of it.
Oh.
So it's definitely playing along the same lines.
Walker by the river.
I can definitely see myself at the end of this being pissed off at. Ultimately being pissed off at how they handled Carol, because maybe like Michonne's gonna die or something.
Well, I think also because, like you said, she's now Carl, and Carl was how old when that happened? Like 9?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
So they've made this fully grown, like mature and like rich character, and they've regressed her to a 9-year-old.
Shit. She's out and about.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens, I guess, right? But
but wait, she has more skill than Carl did at that time. Carl was just a baby boy. Carol's a woman who can handle herself. You know, maybe she'll have an epiphany. Maybe something different will happen.
Or maybe she'll get captured on the immediate.
One can only hope, you know. One has to have hope at these times, and one can't just be thinking. One just can't be morose.
Well, just talking about the decision itself, though, with her leaving, it was a bad decision, don't you think?
Yeah. Aside from that decision, I'm just saying when she leaves, you know, hopefully she can, you know, handle herself, and hopefully she'll make another good decision, and maybe something good will come out of it. I'm trying to keep, positive light on the situation and not just think that it was a bad choice on the writer's side, that they were just being lazy. And like, I just hope this show is doing more than that, because signs do point to that it was just like, oh shit, we have no way of anything. We have no other way of making anything happen right now aside from Carol has to leave, so people will have to go find her, and that'll be Negan's reason for coming to attack Alexandria. It just seems too simplistic. That just seems like.
But I mean, shows do make mistakes.
I know that just seems like so amateur on my part. That these guys we've been following these guys for so long and been showing so much faith in these writers and in these episodes that they're just gonna do that to us. God damn it! That's like,
but let's be
so
real,
foul,
though.
That'd be so foul. I
But
just have to hold more faith in my heart right now that there's more to it, that there's more going on. I have to hold respect to her heart, that she's just, she had an emotional maybe breakdown. Everybody needs a moment to step out of themselves.
But in the middle of something like that.
Even in the middle of something like that.
No, but that's what we're saying. That's a terrible decision.
But we all make bad decisions. We all make look at Daryl.
Is that really believable?
But look at Daryl. Look at Daryl.
Is it believable?
Daryl made a bad decision. He should have smoked that guy. He should have killed that guy.
That's different. That was like an in the moment.
We're talking about in the moment decisions.
That wasn't like a heat of the moment that she packed up and that's like she had to think about that. She had to gather her shit and she had to leave. That's a horrible decision. Like, and it doesn't make any sense that we've been through that already. Where like
it makes sense. It makes sense. In Carol's heart, it made sense. She had.
I hear that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't know.
I'm saying.
I think it is
Carol's
great.
heart, it made sense that she couldn't be a part of this anymore.
I think it is great that you have such high faith in the writers, but I think there is nothing wrong with saying that sometimes the writing is poor, and that when you're beholden to 16 episodes, that sometimes you got to tread your wheels a little bit to make sure that things happen at the denouements and at the climaxes. You want to make sure that you have things happen near the end of the season, so you kind of extend the drama. So I think there's definitely other ways that could have gotten Negan's group to end up being like all up in their shit and invading Alexandria. But when you have 16 episodes, you kind of got to say, well, what the hell are we going to do for episodes 14 and 15? 16 is going to have to be the one where it is. And like we already said weeks beforehand, we know that's when Morgan comes through, and like that's when we actually see Negan. So like that's kind of out there already. So like at that point, you just spin your wheels a little bit and you kind of make it happen and you plod towards it. And this isn't the first time that the show's kind of had bad writing. Like there's been previous seasons that the show's been pretty poorly written before. I don't know if you remember season 2. Like season 2 was pretty bad.
Yeah, that's the season that everybody goes to. That Walking Dead sucks. They lost me in season 2.
I mean, but it was a real bad season. It was not well done. And that was, again, another situation where because we have 2 parts of a season, we have to spend half the season looking for Sophia. And it was already writing on the wall. She was dead. So they treaded their wheels and they did it. Even think back to like the first half of this season.
Looking for Sophia or looking for themselves as characters? Looking for Sophia or looking for themselves as characters?
Looking for Sophia, because that's what they were actively doing. They were stuck in one position looking for this character that you knew was going to be dead. And then like the plot never really progressed anywhere. And if you think about even the characters, like did they really develop at that time? I mean, like I don't really know if much development really occurred at that point, because everyone was arguing over this character, whether or not we should look for her or whether or not we should leave. I mean, it was just overall just not a particularly well done season. And that was because you had a certain number of episodes, and what the hell were you going to do in this time frame? Like I said, think about the first half of this season. How much time did they waste on Glenn being dead? And then it turns out, no, he was hiding under a fucking trash, garbage bin.
Yeah. We pointed out errors. I think the loopholes that. And then remember, I forgot what episode it was, where we talked about how some zombies can smell blood and others can't. And when T-Dog was hiding under the car with his arm cut.
Or even with Dale, because we talked about him, how he was like chilling in the fucking fields at night, and all of a sudden, like, oh, zombies here because he's a ninja.
Zombies just pop out of nowhere for the.
Yeah.
No,
things happen because the plot needs them to, and you have a certain, like, there's a certain thing that just happens with writing. And, like, you can think about it in terms of like character decisions, and you can think about them in that way. But then, like, I think that at certain points you can just sit there and you could say, like, from a character perspective and from a writing perspective, I think both of these things don't mesh. They don't really fit with where the character has been driven to be at this point. And it just seems like all it's being done is just to be in service of hitting this one plot point.
And that sucks.
It does. I agree.
Like, that really, like, hurts my heart. But I guess they're only human, right? They're only human.
I could tell, like, it drives you crazy to, like, say that. But I know, I know you know it. It just
does. I'm trying to find a way to not make that true. I'm going to keep fighting it because there's still 2 episodes left. There's got to be something more to it, and I hope there is. So I'd be like, ha, I told you so.
Like these bullets.
Yeah. Shit sucks, bro.
That was a good scene, though, with Eugene and that he peeked over to Abraham.
Yeah.
I was pissed off for a second.
For a second, I was like, Eugene, you
what
motherfucker,
the hell are you
bro.
doing?
He better be out of behind those fucking barrels, bro. I'm going to be pissed right now.
I thought maybe the barrels were, like, they were going to shoot at him when they would explode.
Man.
That Eugene was setting them over there.
Oh, God.
You guys will sit here and you'll defend Carol, but you won't believe in your man Eugene for 2 seconds.
That's your man. That's your man.
It's
That's
your
not
man.
my man.
Are you gonna tell me
your
Eugene
man.
ain't your man?
That's you. Eugene is you in the show.
He's
You gonna
only
tell me
stage
Eugene ain't your
2,
man?
though.
He's over here making bullets,
He's
keeping
only
you alive.
stage 2, though.
What does
ain't
he
even
do?
full
He makes
power
bullets.
He's still KO Ken. Damn it! But he bit a dick. He bit a dick in this
And then he got
episode.
the best
when
line.
you say
He went all in.
when
bro.
Steve,
Gotta give him love.
Steve, when you say you don't like Abe, I love Abe. I love how they're building his character and they're building the relationships between him and some of these people. And him and Eugene at the end there, how he apologized to him. He said that you can bite a mean dick or whatever he said.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Is like, why is the show was going on? And I was like, well, of the shows, the characters I think I would have had died, definitely Abraham. Then he comes through and he says, oh, well, you know how to bite a dick. I mean that with the utmost respect. So I'm like, all right, so I guess there is some aspects of like things you can have going on with this character.
Yeah, and him and
I
Sasha,
do
maybe there'll be
feel
something.
like there's definitely things you could do with him. I'm just interested and happy now at this point that they're doing it, because for the last couple of weeks he's been pretty stagnant. And I think also at this point he's just been kind of pushing people away. Like, that's what I think was kind of nice about this episode, where like, again, he kind of pushed away Eugene and Eugene like kind of pushed back, and then they kind of reconnected at the end. And I think that was like a nice thing to kind of see.
I thought maybe when Eugene was talking about his levels and shit, how he was gonna say, "I'm trying to get Rosita. I'm trying to get in that ass. You ain't with Rosita anymore. I got to step my game up. Got to get right."
Well, let me bring up the comics, because why not? He actually gets shot while he's giving his blessing to Eugene to like go talk to Rosita.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So he's like talking to her. He's like, "Oh man, it's like, I loved her and whatever, but like I get it, you like her and whatever." And he gets shot. And he's like still talking, and like I was like, "Oh, it's great."
It was so funny.
Wait, Abe got shot? Is that what you said?
I told you before.
No, yeah, Abe was the one that got the arrow in the head.
Oh,
Not, Denise.
shit.
Yeah. That scene with Denise though, that was so sad.
That was
And she was still talking a bit.
And then she the mic, like the batteries kind of died. Yeah. That was fucked up, man.
Like it must have hit her right through the part of her brain where she was alive for just those few seconds instead of instantly dying.
Oh, you think she felt that?
I don't know.
I doubt it. I mean, I think at that point, like,
Yeah, she's probably not.
she was just mid talk, and I think at that point,
She just turned off.
Not even like a twitch in the eye. She didn't feel like the
Fuck, what
cold
is it?
steel like in her eye.
Like, what is this?
Oh God, oh
like-
man, imagine that moment. Gonna die.
So last week when we were talking about like this week's episode, I thought that was going to happen at the end of the episode. So I was a bit surprised to see it happen, and there was 20 minutes left of the episode. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh fuck, things are going to happen this episode for reals. Like
With
things
a fresh
are.
can of Crush in her hands.
Yep. Well, it was one can of Crush and like 5 different drinks.
No, it
Yeah,
was
and they were all
beers.
connected.
I think they were beers
Yeah.
or something.
What the
It's
fuck
very
was
weird.
that?
So it was like meant to be. It was like, oh shit, she got her can of no.
I was wondering actually at first when she like goes back into that, and then when she picks up the crush, I was like, oh, that's right, she really wanted the crush. Because I was like, what the fuck is she doing going for this one stupid cooler? Of all the coolers, she has to go for this one cooler. I'm like, that's right, she wanted the crush.
It's crazy.
She just got very lucky that crush was in there. What if it was empty?
And then it's just the way then she opens the door, then pulls the thing, and then just lets the zombie fall on her like that. Like,
you know, like, oh god, good.
it's just those moments keep happening, and I just think to myself, how do these people just let this happen?
I know, that would have been the quickest arm ever in that door. You know, like pull that shit. That's it. I would have been drinking the crush before that zombie even went
But it was her moment, you know.
Oh man.
But then you know what? She killed the zombie. Eugene couldn't, but she did. They
That's
both
true.
had that. That's what I think was very interesting about this episode is you had
Yeah.
like these two characters on their journey, these other three characters on their own journey, and the parallels that they kind of drew in terms of like leveling up, quote unquote, whatever, like to kind of like move on and like become like a little bit stronger in the new world and stuff. Like I think it was a very interesting thing to see, and like, you know, that's why it was a little disappointing to me to kind of what I said before is like, you know, they took that angle with Denise and then immediately snuffed her out.
Yeah, they snuffed her out, man. They snuffed her out. Shit. Moment of silence for Denise.
Give it to her, let her have it. Open up a crush can, pull one out.
This one's for you, Denise.
Insert a glug sound.
A can opening.
Yep, just
But at least we still have our orange crush, though. Our real orange crush. Abraham.
Oh, that's true.
That's good.
At least we still have our orange crush.
That's true. That's the name
By
of
all
the episode.
means, right? He should have died. That was Abraham's moment. So
Abraham was the soda that was saved this episode.
Oh shit.
tall drink of soda he is.
We're over here on the train tracks. How did none of them get shot in that moment, though? You know, like if I was in that group with like 15 dudes and I fall back, I'm unleashing my assault rifle.
No bullets left.
Yeah.
They had
man.
they had them guns trained on them too. They put their guns down. They fucking suck. They didn't kill a single one. They didn't do a thing. Why didn't they just get Rosita when she was alone?
You know?
I mean, they took Eugene. They thought that he was alone. They didn't get Abraham. They didn't even know he was around.
Yo, but Abraham is crazy though. He left let's say 10 minutes before Eugene got out of there, or 10 seconds, and he was all over that scene. He's got crazy instincts, or just happenstance upon the situation going on.
He's an army man.
Holy shit, he was fucking Johnny on the spot with that shit, right?
It's that army training, son.
Oh my god, Abraham is badass, bro.
Oh, yo, here's an actual thing to talk about. Dwight. Last time we saw him, his face wasn't all fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's an interesting thing.
What do you think? Negan taught him a lesson?
Maybe. There was a forest fire? What happened at the end of the episode where we met him? Like, he took Daryl's stuff, and then I know that...
He rode off with that chick on the bike.
Oh, so he straight left then. Okay, so
Yeah.
then last time we saw him, he looked perfectly fine then.
Perfectly fine.
Was he going back to Negan at the end of that episode, or was he, like, going away? Because I remember he was, like, trying to get away from Negan's group. Wasn't that what it was supposed to be? I'm trying
Yes.
to remember that episode.
Yeah, he was.
That's
He
true,
was.
yeah.
He was trying to get away from Negan's
But
crew.
you have to question then what happens? What happened when he got caught by Negan again? Then was his
Right, so
woman
that must have
killed,
been what
or-
happened, right? He must have gotten caught by Negan again, and then something must have happened to him from there. Weren't those guys also saying, like, were they saying anything about not liking people that, like, try to run away or something, or, like, traitors or dissenters or anything like that? Was that anything they were saying at the time?
I don't recall anything. But
Me either. I'm really trying to remember what the like, did they even have a conversation?
about
I think they
people-
just hid from the dudes, right? They didn't actually talk to that splinter group, right?
No, they didn't. No.
Yeah. Huh. So you guys just think it was just he got caught by Negan and they taught him a lesson?
Yeah, but which is odd though, because then that would leaving and betraying Negan, I thought would warrant a death. You know, so why would Negan keep this guy?
Right.
Either maybe Negan killed his woman that he was with, and then decided to just make him part of the henchmen.
Wait,
Right.
that is interesting. Oh, that also makes me think about something. That's interesting. That if they are part of Negan's group, that means Negan. That could show that Negan has no idea Alexandria exists.
Mm-hmm.
Because they said, "Bring us back to your camp."
Right.
Wow,
That's true.
could be pretty. That could either show that they aren't. I mean, Negan has no idea that Alexandria exists, or that group is a low are they're sole existing. They're not a part of Negan's group. Maybe they're like defectors, you know. Maybe they are like the misfit toys that got fucking beat down and banished from Negan's crew.
I think it's interesting too because he let them get away, even though he ran up to them with the crossbow, like Daryl, and was about to like try to chase after them, but they were like, "No, let him go." So maybe that's how they kind of discover Alexandria, is because they let this group go, and now they're gonna kind of be watching them.
I don't think they would have had a chance though, because in the chaos of the moment, I think the group was just wanted to stay alive and just ran away without realizing exactly, because they still had the manpower and the guns on them. So
Yeah.
I mean, they could have just regathered in the forest at the end of the field.
And they kind of just watched, just kind of followed them back, and then said, "All right, so now we know where they live."
Yeah.
And then kind of taking it back, and then maybe headed back to base and be like, "Yo, we need to get a group to go attack this group."
And you have to wonder how much Eugene told him when he was captured. You know.
True, if he said anything, I guess that's
Well, he did say, "You bring us back to your nice spot." So I mean, at the very least, like as you were just saying, they know they have a spot. You know.
Right, but he would also know that from Daryl existing too. From like how he knew Daryl.
But they have
beforehand.
a path that they can at least follow now. You know.
Right, yeah, so they can be like, all right, so we ran away, and then there's some tracks we can follow of this group as they quickly ran back to get to Alexandria, and then they tracked them back. It was interesting, too, to see that Dwight went up and he was like, we only kill one person just like for effect. That's kind of what we do. And like some of the things that he was saying are a little bit interesting to take into consideration in terms of like what that can mean. Do you think that was something that was just kind of Dwight's code, or do you think that's like the code of the saviors of some kind?
Didn't he say something about a first impression or something about killing someone first or something?
Yeah, he says we were just killing someone because that's the impression that we want to make. And then he was like, we don't want to kill anyone else. It's not in our interests. We just want to go back to your place, take whatever and whoever we want. So do you think that was just Dwight, or do you think that that's kind of like
Negan's
the savior?
word?
Yeah.
I think it's probably Negan's word. And then with the thing with his scars, maybe he got caught.
True.
But
I think it was an interesting thought that Jay had before about like maybe it was like Island of Misfit Toys that he was kind of kicked out or something.
Yeah. So what do you think they were doing with the guns when Morgan turns around and sees them moving the guns from somewhere?
I think they were getting ready to go look for Carol.
Oh,
They brought. There's a lot of guns right there.
Yeah. You gotta fucking find it because they're aware that there's like a fucking war almost about to break out. So it's like, yo, let's arm everybody.
Yeah.
I feel like next episode is going to be like, let's search for Carol. And they're probably also arming people that are going to be within Alexandria as well. Like there's going to be like whatever group that goes to look for Carol. And then there's going to be whatever group stays back. And I think everyone's getting guns. It's like the
guns a la carte, baby.
Yep. Look under your chair. You get a gun. You get a gun. You get a gun.
The nail is served.
There's a gun under your chair. Guns for everybody. It's America.
It's true.
Poor Morgan.
Any updated thoughts on Morgan, Steve?
Oh, remember how last week we were saying like what was he building, and then it totally was a prison?
Yeah, it was a prison. Yeah.
So that's a good thing for us to know.
I did like that moment between him and Rick. How now you have a choice. It was interesting.
I feel like it's an interesting perspective for Morgan to have because they did a pretty good job of building Morgan to be this character. But I also feel like I said, they did a good job of building him towards this point. Like we've seen his journey along the way. You know what I mean? and we've seen how he's kind of become this character. It's felt very natural. At no point does it feel like a regression of his character. Like, we've seen him in all different parts of his life, where he was like how he was originally, then he kind of went a little crazy, and then how he kind of like, kind of came back from that. Like, we've seen him kind of become this. That's been his arc. I don't really feel like that fits for any of the other characters, no matter how much you really try to spin it and make it work. So I feel like for Morgan, it's an interesting thing to see his perspective and like the way that he's kind of like looking at this war from like a more peaceful side, because it fits with where he would be mentally, narratively.
I dig it.
You know what I mean? It fits. It's an interesting thing to watch him like take the guns and kind of be like, damn, a whole lot of people gonna have to die. I just spent all that time making this jail. It's not gonna get used at all, huh?
Yeah.
That's like I told you, he built it to lock his ass in it. He locked himself in it. Now you can't bite me.
Last minute, Negan's gonna storm the place. He's gonna lock himself in the jail and say he was a prisoner for the group and become part of Negan's group and work from the inside.
That's what he said.
Oh shit, that would be so dope.
I was with you the whole time.
I'm Negan.
I'm Negan. How could you be Negan if I'm Negan? Hold on.
I mean, he was a fucking bald biker dude and like a woman, like another woman and another woman last week.
Magnolia.
Negan's a shapeshifter. He's a lizard man.
He's Martian Manhunter.
He's a fucking chameleon.
It's true.
Yo, you started watching Daredevil 2 yet?
I watched the whole thing.
I'm only
You
on.
want to talk about a good show? That's a good show.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm only on episode. I just only saw the first 3 episodes of season 2 so far.
It's good.
Wait, hold on. Season 2? Did they bring back Jennifer Garner? Is Colin Farrell alive still? Is he in this one?
Jokes on jokes.
I hated Bullseye in that movie. He's so dumb. I thought.
All right, mate.
Well, that movie in general was just, I thought, poor. So, any final thoughts you guys want to share before we get the hell out of here?
Carol, do something with your life. Do something with your life, Carol. If you can hear me, please, Carol. Don't let Dale die again in vain. Please.
It's I'm looking forward to seeing where they go. 2 episodes left, things gonna be picking up, I imagine. Be interesting seeing where they take this,
Yeah. And Fear soon after. Is
yeah,
it right after?
So it's a week off before they do Fear?
I don't know. Facts don't matter.
That's true. Facts do not matter.
Well, it's April 10th, so do the math. No, I think it might be 2 weeks.
April 10th?
Yeah, April 10th is when it starts. May 27th is next week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, March 27th. Whoops.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So they just going straight into Fear then.
Oh, don't waste time, bro.
Nope. Gotta have your damn zombies year round every damn week. 52 weeks a year. Let's go. Just zombies all day.
And we'll continue this straight into that, right?
Yeah.
With the same title, no...
Yeah,
all
I
right.
change it.
And Reeves will still continue to listen.
Of course.